Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is GrumpyKoi, and today we are going on a adventure to watch the week 2 of Prem ETF2L. With me, I've got Gemm, and also I've got myself, DuMmTm. How you doing, DuMmTm?
Hello. Should be good games from what I've seen so far from these teams.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
We've got two teams. We've got Ora Elektro and
Wer das liest ist doof, aka who reads this is stupid in German.
yeah, and as we know, I'm a toxic Brit, so I'm not able to really say these German words. So I'm going to stick to calling these guys the Germans or the Shack, whichever slips off my tongue. But no, it could be a really interesting game. Like from what I've seen, because I've been able to cast a few games of the Shack, the Germans. I'm quite excited to see them play. I haven't seen much of Ora Elektro, but like we were speaking about earlier before the stream starts, these guys have played in higher bit. They've never really come on top, but they did make through the playoffs, and they are now in Prem. So they've got a chance to shine and prove us all wrong.
Yes, on the other side we have the Germans with like individually very experienced people, but not necessarily played together that much. So kind of a toss-up at that point. I watched scrims of these teams over the past 2 days just to know what's going on with these teams on these maps, and it was pretty even results. Both teams had the moments where they were good, the moments they struggled on both maps, and they seems to stack up pretty even on Sunshine and Gullywash, which are the maps we will see today. Sunshine obviously being the first one today.
Okay, so yeah, it is Sunshine and Gullywash. I'm just going to run through the side of the Germans just quickly. So we've got Kratos on Med, we have Shocky on Scout, we have Adalos on the second Scout, we have Clip on Soldier, and we've got Fishcop on the other Soldier, and then we've got Leto on Demo. Well, we were discussing earlier, we don't know what they're doing with their roamers and pockets.
Yes, I think the call before the season was Fishcop Pocket Clip Roamer, but from what I've seen that it's switched, and just as we speak that, it's going alive.
It's going. Do you want to quickly just run through the second roster?
Yeah, we have Nevo and the American Jinx playing on 100 ping Scout for Ora Elektro. As soon as Roma, Cannon Pocket, Jimbot is the Demo Man, and Calvin on Medic. Okay, you go ahead with the mid fight.
Okay, well Leto's incredibly quick compared to the Jimbot. We do see that Fishcop goes down really early in that game. That's a nice little pick for the side of Ora Elektro. As the bombs do come out, we see a high bomb coming in from Callum. He's able to pick off so much damage onto that combo there. Stefan goes down, sorry, Shocky goes down, Leto down, Fishcop down. This is really awkward, but there are 4 players, 5 players down.
All the way behind, and he picked up Jimbot as well. So the great turnaround.
That was such a spread out mid.
A little bit weird at the end, since they clearly had a plan to like catch them off in flowers, deny them exit, and just like sandwich them with Callum jumping in behind. But they just couldn't find the damage, and the Germans just cleaned them up quicker than they could deal with anything.
Yeah, because there was really nice bombs on the combo, but it just they weren't able to like follow up that damage. As we do see the Germans looking to push into flowers at the moment. We've got a really aggressive positioning from Fish at the moment, seeing that we can obviously create space for the rest of his team. I do apologise, that was clear. And yeah, they're stacking up, taking this straight through. I think we're going to get a last push. What do we have? So we have the NG in the normal spot. I think that's the only off-class we see at the moment, as there is a lower push coming in. The Uber has been popped from the sides of the Germans, but they're not able to get many picks. The sentry gun is down, but no real useful picks for the time being. And Nevo does go down as I say that. We do get a high bomb in from Callum. He's able to down get Clip and Leto. Shocky goes down. The Uber has come out from the side of Ora Elektro, and they are able to hold this last.
And they got 4 picks to work with as well. Should be an easy contest onto second. Fishcop the only one really there to stop anything, and he should probably connect with this medic anytime soon. Yeah, he's leaving second back to Ora Elektro, and pretty much what I've seen the last day from the Germans as well on Sunshine Art. They have an easy time getting space, but a hard time getting frags, and it just takes so much time for them to get anywhere on this last. And at that point, if it's just a bit advantage, like it was this time, not like full advantage into last, it's just enough time for Calvin in this situation to get his Uber and retaliate before they find any frags.
And I think the Germans have answered our question with Fishcop playing the Roma and Clip playing Pocket at the moment. as they are looking to see if they can push into Cafe at the moment. There are sticks up from Jimbot. It's not able to really catch anyone. They do get the Uber though. They are bombing in really deep. Nice amount of damage onto Jimbot and the rest of the team, but the exchange has happened. Clip goes down. The Germans really need to back out right now. The aggression is coming back out from Ora Elektro, as we do see Jimbot going in really deep in that choke, but he is going to be
chasing it as well, with like the whole team coming forward now. Moving into mid, chase down more people. We down on the German side, and they can't stay on mid now either.
Yeah, no, they really need to back off, as we do. He might overextend here, he might out, but no, the rest of his team has joined onto the flowers. We do see Clip getting really aggressive, dealing a lot of spam to the people on the point, but he's staying relatively safe even with doing that.
Okay, Ora Elektro kept the midpoint back up, managed to bounce back all the way from last after this unsuccessful push. They don't have advantage right now. Kratos has 30%, a little bit less. They want to make use of this. They're already moving through Cafe to try to find something. Azunis spots them. It's been getting called. Fishkopf and Adlos on the flank active as well, pressuring Callum. He takes a lot of damage, but they don't commit to it. The advantage is shrinking to pretty much nothing at this point. And they just didn't find an entry pick, basically.
Yeah, and that aggression has been joined by the rest of the team of Ora Elektro, but they are getting spammed out of flowers at the moment.
Azunis is in aggressively. He took down the medic as well.
Oof,
After all was said and done. I didn't either, but it happened. And he took down Clip as well at the very end of this. Oh no, wait. This is Jimbot. I am wrong, but he was behind, forcing them back even further. Clip going for the counter-sack, that's what happened. Or trying to at least, didn't get too far. And this is just an easy second for Ora Elektro now.
That was a really nice decision by Clip though. As soon as that went down, he looked to try and force or get a kill onto the med. As they are coming in with a full Uber ad on the right side, they're able to take down the sentry gun. Adelos isn't really able to help with the heavy. There is a lot of time on the point. Clip is denying. Bombs are coming in from Callum and the rest of his team. Jimbot just on the point, swinging his bottle around. Clip so low. Clip ends up going down. Oh, huge play from Jim. Jimbot played so well during that last. He created so much space for his team, even though he did end up going down to the med. Even though he was just there swinging his bottle around, it seemed like he was just constantly denying the enemy team from the point.
And just like that, they bounced all the way back from last, kept up the point, managed to get the first round and get in the lead earlier on Sunshine. And as we speak, we're already back on mid. And Leto the first one again and just throw some sticks over, waiting for everybody to arrive.
Yeah, Fishkopf is actually really quite quick as well, able to try and deny Asn, but he does end up dying. Azunis is bombing in. He does take down Shocky. The rest of his team really need to back up. Leko is on his own and he gets taken down by Jinx. Huge aggression from Jimbot at the moment. No one's really going to be able to deny him because there's only 2 players left. So this might be a straight roll in. They're lucky they kept their med though. So it will be an equal Uber sort of last situation at the moment. We do see Edalos on the NG. Shocky is going onto the sniper, seeing if he can get a pick. We can see what angles he's going to try and get. As he does deal a nice charged headshot onto Azunis, but isn't able to get the kill. Never goes down really quickly.
And I would assume Never would have go sniper as well now, because that's what happens when the scout just feeds in like that on us. You should be prepared for it. It leaves a little bit of an opening for Shocky to be a little bit more aggressive, but nobody's in lobby. Obviously, don't want to risk just overextending to the sniper here, so they back off well. And Never does indeed spawn sniper, so there was actually a point to that.
Yeah, they are looking to see if they can maybe get a hold, some sort of presence in lobby, but they do know that they should probably back up. As you predicted, Nevo is going on the sniper, so he's going to see what angles he's going to get. He's just currently watching the balcony at the moment. Leto and Azunis are having a really awkward stare off there, but no one's really connecting any damage. So I think this is just going to be a classic hold. Looking for an opportunity. Leto does go down. That's a really good pick.
And Never wants to sneak in a bit more. They just take the space given to them. Azunis is the first one to fall here. On the other side though, probably just wanting to come off the distraction. Doesn't quite work. Fishkopf takes another one down here. Yeah,
that was the sniper Nevo. But they have called the position of the NGs, so unless we're going to see a push from the Germans.
Clip wants to go for a jump. comes from under, but he takes so much damage on entry, can't find the rocket. Shocky is going aggressive as well. The rest of the team is just staring from the lobby to see if they can do anything else. But there was just no damage to follow up on, and Shocky would have to go all the way. So the second attempt not successful. Never back on Sniper. Arriving in lobby now, and we're back where we just left off. So let's see, they're making space on the left side, and Never gets the first big fish cop gets taken down as well by just the follow-up damage. That is already present on the left side. That's 2 quick picks, and this is fairly contested.
It looks like the Uber is going to come out on the right-hand side right now. They're gonna do it. They've called the the flash was too early, and GMBot goes down. This is really good sentry. I thought they called that earlier, and they got
caught out as well. The sentry slowed him down that much, and Leto had the sticky ready for the situation. And it's just really good for the DuMmTm.
Absolutely amazing sentry. Like when you want the sentry to slow them down, but getting a pick like the demo is so useful. As Leto is taken down by Callum though, but both soldiers down for the side of Ora Elektro. We should see a push coming out of the Germans.
Our control point is
That's the worst.
Ooh,
Never sniping from the flower side. Gets 2 shots here as well. Another headshot straight onto clip. Fishkopf goes in, tries to make the best of the situation, but it's not looking too good. He still gets 1, but the most important thing is that Kelvin stays alive. And 3 down on the German side. This is not really contestable anymore. They backed off. Adelos back on NG. And big advantage back into Ora Elektro's hands.
Yeah, we do see that both the Sniper and the NG are setting themselves up to see if they can get any picks on this. We do see that the side of Ora Elektro are really just in general trying to just wait it out, wait for their Uber to come in. They don't need to worry about any aggression coming out of the Germans at the moment because they just don't have any ad to play on. They just don't need to risk it really. As they are looking to come through balcony and onto the right hand side. They have spotted all the stickies. But I think the Uber's going to come in now on the right hand side, and the Uber is taken. They are really delayed, not getting any picks or anything, but the sentry gun hasn't done any work at the moment. It's only just started to be able to fire. Ados is trying to protect it, but it's onto the pipes of GMBot. Fishkopf taking down GMBot though, getting picked up by Azunas. Leto down. Yeah, but Kelvin and Callum are down as well. Azunas kills himself, so really bad last push. What happened there, Dum? I don't really understand.
You mentioned that the sentry didn't do anything, but the thing is, it didn't need to do anything. They came in from the right side, the sentry was on the other side. The Uber was basically just committed through right to get in and deal with what was there, but nothing was there. Everybody was just in spawn, just basically preemptively rotating pretty much. And once the Uber faded, you basically still had a full setup on last to have to deal with. And they just couldn't, they got collapsed on. And now the Germans with full Uber. Cap up second, moving on to mid already. Uber gets committed here eventually. Doesn't seem like it will get it much, besides obviously secure mid. But Ora Elektro will gladly take this since now they will have the Uber advantage in the situation. And as long as you have a decently successful push, you can just leapfrog mid back. The question is if you will see this exact scenario where just Uber gets committed, nobody dies, and will be stuck in a leapfrog, or if Ora Elektro have something in store to break this situation and secure mid and a potential advantage moving forward.
Well, yeah, as you say that, they are coming through Cafe at the moment. They have got this Uber. They're not looking to pop it anytime soon. They really delayed pop from Calvin. He's able to save GMBot on. But Callum and Jinx are down, with only Fishkopf down, but the rest of Germans are just holding into second, probably looking for a repush because they know they have 70% ad. Clip goes into Bell Tower, pushes them out, denies anyone from really able to hold anything in the mid. They didn't lose the mid as well, so this is really good. They can push on to second with ad as they go into house.
Yeah, they're moving in now. Uber is up. The question is, do they want to use here? You can make this work without. There is heavy contention on the flank side. 1-for-1 trade, Fishkopf goes down for Jinx. And that's pretty much all that happens. Ora Elektro don't want to stay in much longer. Playing it safe in that regard. Trying to get Neon Uber up for last as quick as they can. Never sniping. And he has been putting up work on Sniper. So let's see if he can continue this. Only 30% advantage anymore. And it's slowly dwindling away while the Germans are struggling to make a decision as to whether they want to go or not.
Yeah, they do seem really indecisive. They don't seem like they're making any concise decision on what they want to do. So at the moment they can obviously wait for the Uber exchange, maybe sack in Shocky, and see if they can swap into that sniper play at the moment. I think that's what Shocky is thinking of doing, but at the moment I think they're just going to hold it, see if any players overextend. You got Nevo looking to see if he can get a shot through balcony, saying that Kratos is dangerously close to being able to be picked off there. As Stefan does go down, he's probably going to do exactly what I said and get onto sniper at the moment. But Azunas is on spy, so let's see what he can do with his sneaky snipe.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the last game, but Azunas is pretty good on spy in sixes. I usually say it's like the worst class in sixes if you just want to like have continuous impact on the game. You have like one chance and then it's pretty much over for you. Azunas just refused to die the other week, and in the last scrim I've seen as well, he just like doesn't die and continues like distracting, being an annoying player behind they have to deal with and be aware of, and it just has so much impact, not well as much impact as Spike can have, and he goes for an attempt, but he gets spotted really early and gets taken down here, so not much of that today, or at least not just yet. They move a bit further forward. Shocky as well on spy now, he hasn't done anything yet, just gotten behind. And he's looking to make a similar play.
Yeah, no, he's just playing the sneaky spy right now. It's really useful because you can obviously let people know what's happening, but Leto goes down to Nova, Shocky gets picked up, he's going to die as well. They've got a 2-player disad on second. They should really think about leaving, as it does look like Ora Elektro are mobilizing at the moment.
Well, so this is a good opportunity to start moving forward with. And they are coming in from every side. As soon as from under, everybody else comes from left, moving their way into second. Callum with the quick force, and this seems a bit unplanned to get the force out here because they left as well and got force on the way out, and it's really not good for them. They lost 2 people while this was happening. They basically gained nothing from it.
No, they actually gained themselves a disad at the moment. It will give the Germans a chance to actually get in and maybe even slow push this, as they are looking to do so. Fishcop does get picked up by Nevo though, but they are slow pushing this on left. They can, if they spam off, they can see if they can do anything. Huge bombs onto Cliff, but he's able to get away from it at the last second. But they're going to have to back out. If they stay any longer, they're going to start losing players. Jinx does take down Adelos, but not before Adelos can take down Jimbot. So that's still not the worst thing that can happen to the Germans. They got out relatively cleanly, and they managed to get the demo for it. So that just gives them a little time to regroup, not worry about a push. They have got a little ad. They may be aware. They are mobilizing back up
but it's just
onto the
like
balcony.
10 by the time they start moving forward. They still go with it, but it's pretty much equal at this point. Kelvin has to use the Jinx, gets taken out in front of the Uber charge. And the Germans still lost 2 in total during this, so they have to leave all the way. They don't have a demo, which makes contesting second a bit more difficult, and it looks like Ora Elektro wanna use the opportunity again, but this time they need to have more coordination on it than last time. And it's a non-Uber situation this time as well, which changes the dynamic quite a bit. Clip tries to jump in from behind. He gets spotted, that's a pick to work with. However, Callum does go down. The Germans still not backing off, they want to fight this, and they get a whole lot of damage done. Multiple people on Ora Elektro pretty weak, and this is probably enough for now.
Yeah, they can just hold it. They don't need to back out, which is really nice. Ora Elektro's push was relatively failed. They've got all their players up now. They have a little bit more of a substantial ad, about 30%. But if that obviously means if they know that, they may be able to do something, because they know that the only off classes they'll probably have is a sniper or a spy, just for the fact that there isn't enough time really. Well, there is now, but there wouldn't have been enough time for the NG to really be up into a defensible position.
That the only off class Nevo sniping again, trying to find a pick here. They have been consistently getting advantages, so they are not failing at creating them. They just can't follow through with them and extend them to the point where they have the actual opportunity to keep second in any shape or form. It just crumbles before they can manage to do just that. And Germans now taking the initiative again. They are the ones around down, so Ora Elektro isn't even in too bad of a situation, all things considered, since they're still around up. It's just a 1-round buffer, and they're already in last, which makes this a lot more sketchy. But if you're able to hold onto this, then that's not much of a problem. And by the time the ground timer would out, which is in 4 minutes unless points get traded at some point, we are back on mid, and Ora Elektro basically gains second for free at that point. And the Germans clearly want to avoid that.
Yeah, I think they're going to really look at seeing if they can get any sort of picks. We do see that Nevo is taking a new angle, being protected by Azunas, but he does end up backing out. Aedalos goes in really strong. We do see the clip goes on the right hand side. He goes onto the med. He gets a drop on the medic. What a bomb from Clip. That's such a good opportunity.
That was just the DuMmTm in front of him trying to stop that, but that wasn't enough. Uber comes in from the right side, catches the DuMmTm instantly. Nevo can't do much. Soldiers will jump in for both sides. A lot of time on the point, but these people on the point for the Germans get saved by the Uber. Only one player, as you said, Callum, with the banner. That's not enough. He gets taken down, and that's a tie.
That was a really good bomb from Clip. Like, he chose the perfect opportunity to go in then. That was really good. Okay, as we come on to the third mid of the game so far.
Yeah, let's see how they approach it.
Leto is so quick. Leto is always really quick on these mids.
But also puts him at a pretty low health, so the soldier finally decides to jump him aggressively. This could end ugly, but so far that's not happening.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it. As we do see a huge bomb coming from Callum. He's not able to connect on anyone. Fishcop taking down Jimbot. Jinx going down to the pipes of Leto.
Gets taken down quickly enough by Shocky. And the rest of Ora Elektro left early after they were already 1 down in total. Going on 2-1 in terms of total numbers. And yeah, at that point they didn't want to stay in much longer. They moved all the way back into lobby. With Callum going down, second contestant is a bit harder as well. And it doesn't look like they want to put up too much of a fight anymore after already giving up basically the entire point. So second goes to the Germans just like that. We have Never off-class into NG for the defense and Azunas on Spy for the more offensive off-class play here. And he's making moves already, just going quickly from under the point. Kratos is outside a second, but with the Cloak and Dagger that's not much of an issue. Jinx sniping as well, so triple off-class on the defense, 2 of which more offensively oriented off-classes trying to get picks here. The double pick class as well is something else.
Saying that, Azunas doesn't necessarily always need to get the med, because if he's able to actually get Leto, who is on his own and in a good position, that's something that can deny.
Went down. Right side German perspective is wide open, and they try to abuse it to get the sentry, but they just use Indy eventually with the demo pick, despite wanting the sentry first. And it's not looking too good. They get Azunas on the spy, which is helpful while the sentry does go down.
They're going
well,
for a
but
left side
still
repush.
have Uber to contest.
So they're going for the left side repush at the moment, and they are seeing if they can get in. Clip trying to get the early force in. He's able to get the force, but sadly not before the risk.
Alive for so long as well. Takes on Never before he dies eventually. Clip coming in as well, wants to clean up, doesn't really get too far. And Kratos and Fishkov still in lobby. I don't know what they're still doing this for forward, but it could end really badly, really quickly. But it doesn't look like Ora Elektro want to follow up this aggressively. Never mind, people come forward. Shocky eats it direct mid-air. Small air shot.
But he saves his med.
Well, I don't know if I can call it save his med, because there was no danger for Kratos health-wise from that rocket, so it's just Shocky dying. They still got 2 with these techies though, and that turns it around completely. Numbers add now back in the Germans' hands. And they want to go with this, moving back into second. Got capped off, but with 2 down right now, and spawn advantage as well, meaning Shocky's back up and technically completely to that advantage. In terms of players, it's just all in the Germans' hands again, and they take second back pretty quickly.
Yeah, and they have got a little bit of ad here, which they're bringing into the left side. They're going to slow push this. They have popped out the Uber. Callum getting the force, Clip pushing onto point. They have got a lot of space around the point as Azunas and Clip bounce off each other. Aedalos has been the first one to go down during this. Although Azunas is down as well. Clip's getting time on the point. Shocky is down. The aggression is coming onto the... And sadly they do lose on that push. Only 3 players left with... sorry, 2 players
Clip
left
is
with...
just walking in confidently into an Uber, destroys Jimbot, and then goes down to the Uber eventually. That was interesting. If it was a second later, it might even have been dangerous for Calvin at that point. But as it stands, he just walks into the Uber as if it would be nothing. But
The Germans seem
yeah,
to
he
go
takes
in.
on Jimbot.
The Germans seem to go in really confidently on the lasts, but they always kind of fail to follow through sometimes. Like, is there any sort of thing you can explain that to me, DuMmTm? Because I have no idea at that point. Like, that looked like a good, solid Uber, and then it just fell apart really quickly.
I don't know, that was weird, and it's weird for the entirety of the game. Normally it's just that they just get space and that's it, and not enough picks. This time they actually managed to get picked, but then they just got collapsed on, really. And they didn't get the most important pick in this situation, which was Kelvin. He didn't have Uber by the time they came in, I'm pretty sure, I want to say. But it just took forever for them to find frags that were meaningful, and at that time Kelvin just had his Uber ready, was able to pop save everybody, and it just was a wipe because everybody was committed into last. And at that point, space doesn't matter because the enemy has an Uber to kill you with.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
So yeah, target priority is just lacking, really.
Yeah, focus calls, more than likely.
Okay, we're entering an even Uber stalemate. It's a tight game, so somebody has to do something at some point. In this case, it's Fish. Jumping in the middle of all of them deals a lot of damage, but can't finish off a frag either. Neither did Leto spam pipes over the fence, didn't find a pick. And Ora Elektro moving through to the flowers side to do something. As soon as
bombs in,
instantly gets hit by scouts though, and he can't get too far anymore after that.
Yeah, I think it's going to result back to a stalemate, or we may see the Germans look to go through house, which is what they're going to do. Fish Copper on his own on flowers. I think Adelos is going to come through choke. They've actually decided not to go for the push.
It's just one pick. It's always a toss-up if you want to go for it or not. Clip just decides to sack and eventually can't really find his target there either. And that's that much. So both teams struggling to find
any opportunities. Just they're trying to create the opportunities, but they're just not getting them.
At the same time here tried to sneak in from Cafe, but got spotted eventually. Already was fine at that point, so kind of lucky to not go down there on his way out. But yet both teams struggling a bit to create advantages here on the mid to second stalemate. And at some point somebody will have to, because this is just 5 minutes left with a tight scoreline. So unless you want to risk another mid fight, it's just do or die now.
Ooh,
the
Cam
Germans
goes
are
down
aggressive.
to the spam.
They take down one. They are really aggressive in Cafe already. And they
Fish Copper's in as well. There's a lot of damage on the side of Ora Elektro, and that's really unfortunate for them, because that means that the Germans can push through.
Clip just wins a fight against the scout on heals as a soldier, which is in itself pretty impressive, and it just makes this ever so slightly easier. Forces the Uber to be committed out of second to be able to survive. And Jimbot still goes down, while most of Ora Elektro takes a lot of damage.
I think they're going to look and dry push this through left at the moment, because they have the chance to do so. So the momentum is on the side of the Germans as they do bring it in. They have created the space. Now they need to get those picks, but they don't need to. They get the cap, and that's a really nice clean push from them. I don't know about you, Dum, but that felt like a lot more fluid from the Germans there.
Yeah, they actually had momentum in that situation. They managed to keep it just going, and just roll over last, pretty much. And I've seen them be successful with it before, but they struggled so far to get half momentum this game. They managed to get it now. They are round up now, and only little time left on the clock for them to have to run down now. Mid fight starts. Clip goes in deep over the right side, straight into the combo. Gets Kelvin, gets Jinx, and Callum, the only one really forward anymore, gets focused down pretty quickly by the scout. And now it's just a matter of finding the medic pick. And Kratos is pretty far back. Azumis has to jump all the way over the point. With already low HP, he gets taken down, and that's not going to work. Nevo finds Leto, which is something, but he has pretty much everybody in front of him to work with now. And it's just a dire fight against people on heals.
Yeah, he is going to get picked up on that, which was unfortunate because he did get the Leto pick, so it wasn't all bad, but he just didn't have anyone in his team able to help him out. But the good thing with the Leto being down though is they don't have any momentum to bring it into.
Yeah, it does help actually quite a bit, despite not really seeming like it, especially because it also happened this late in the mid fight, if you can even call it mid fight at that point anymore.
Yeah, it's just the flittering ends of a mid fight.
And yeah, just by so much time. And on the other hand, though, the Germans are around up with 2 minutes left, disadvantage on Ora Elektro, and they are the ones that have to do something here. And you.
They can easily just hold this. They don't have to worry about, you know, staying in an awkward situation. They can just hold their position. We do have Azunas on the Pyro, seeing if he can maybe get some reflect. They just want to hold this. It looks like they're going to have a look at go under. And they have brought themselves under. They've got the first pick. They're onto the second pick. The Ubers have been exchanged. And a really nice reflect shot from Azunas. Shame clip was on Uber, because that would have been a really nutty shot. Oh. Okay, I do apologise, but Dum has disconnected, so you're just going to have to put up with my British voice for the time being. So, we do see that they are getting pushed out into the second area. We have got the side of Ora Elektro getting really aggressive. Jimbot going over. We've got Callum in a really nice position to bomb on them if they get into choke. So much damage onto choke for the Ora Elektro onto the Germans. The Germans are going to be... But Callum's in an awkward situation, fighting Shocky on the high ground. As Callum does go down to Shocky in the end. And it's looking like a mid-fight. They still have the Pyro. So they can look at bringing that Pyro back in and carrying on.
Oh,
Welcome back,
I timed out for a second.
No problem at all. They have transferred the situation to being on the second of the Germans as the push comes in. They've still got the Pyro. They're still using the Pyro. The Uber does go off. The Ubers have been exchanged. Jigs on the solo Uber, flashing between Shocky and Clip for the side of the Germans. And it does seem like they're going to push into last. They've got such a short amount of time that Callum goes in with the bombs. They're able to get it. They were able to bring it 2-2. It's going to go to Golden Caps.
Wow, I didn't expect it. The Germans just had to play the clock. What went wrong?
They lost players during their second hold, and the momentum from Ora Elektro just meant that they could just roll it through, and they kept that Pyro pick, which was really helpful for just denying any aggression onto their combo. And it just meant that they were able to take it. So we just have to wait for the swap to happen onto the Golden Cap rules. Which Golden Cap rules do we use in ETF2L?
I'm pretty sure the E8 ones you're probably more used to from playing, so nothing changed.
Oh, okay.
Just, you know, endless game time and
yeah, first to
cap around. Yes,
yeah,
not
the 10-minute timer. If you have mid, you win.
Honestly, I want to see that more because it's kind of funny to see games end with a King of the Hill mid-fight.
Just the constant like product.
Yeah, it's like Cough Sunshine mid basically. I don't know. Yeah. I've seen it once and it was really funny. Just for like a minute straight, people were fighting over Reckoner mid.
Okay, so I think we're gonna go straight on to the second bit. So I don't know how long they're gonna take. If we just have to relax, let's have a quick conversation about that before they get going. That was really interesting because it was a game of like split for me. Because it started off with Ora Elektro getting control of the pace and being able to play really within sort of their comfort zone. And then the Germans started to take it back slowly and get their own pace. And by the second round for the Germans, when they did that push, they looked really confident. So it's interesting to see them get it back. What do you think, Dum?
Yeah, I would think that's fair to say for the most part, definitely. Ora Elektro had the stronger start. Mid-fights were pretty 50-50, I want to say, from what I remember. And yeah, you were the only one of us two seeing the end of that, so I have to believe you. But seeing as Ora Elektro did tie it up, it can't be that far from the truth.
You can trust me.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Come on, we played a pre-season together. We're friends, right?
Sure. But yeah, I expected the close game. I didn't expect Sunshine to be the close of the two maps, in all honesty.
I thought it would go to the side of the Germans, but yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Sorry, what did you say?
Okay, so yeah, I think we should just talk about Okay, so this is what I think is going to happen. It's either going to be a slow push to the Ora Elektros last, and the Germans are going to take it, or Ora Elektro are going to get pace, get going, get the mid, and just go all the way through. Because that seems to be what happens with Ora Elektro. They seem to spend a lot less time on second, whilst the Germans do. What's your predictions for this, Dum?
I'm gonna give it still to the Germans, seeing as they had the better mids later on, so I feel like they know how to approach these mids at this point, and I say they get it from there.
Yeah, I think they've already wised up to the really high bombs from Callum, so I think they're going to be looking for that really early on, and once they see it, they're just going to deny him. But let's stop making our predictions and let's get into this.
Yeah, they're 1 round to decide it all now. Okay, let's see. Both teams have arrived. Leto this time not going that fast compared to the last few times, so he's taking a little step back here. Flip goes top right, tech position, gets jumped by people but doesn't really take damage and just kites them. Lots of damage over the point, and Clip is there to clean up everybody who took that damage.
Clip. Oh, this is really good. Only Azunas left. All the players up for the Germans. They're able to push this into second. They need to keep this momentum. If they're able to use this, they can do this just right in. We just don't want to see their usual sort of last we've seen from them, where they get in and they're not able to really finalize it. But Azunas looking to see if anyone goes lower. He may look to see if he can come up right now. No one's really watching that area, but he's joined the rest of his team
going
back.
that way either, and they're already moving forward. This could have ended pretty bad if they just had an eye on the lower area while coming into lobby. That would have been a quick peek, but should not be big advantage, but a heavy endless entry on last.
And Uber does come in on the right. They have got down the sentry gun. They're able to get time on the point. Shocky is clearing it. They use the Uber to clear the point of Sticky. The rest of the team is on it at the moment. We do see
Shocky plays the point again, gets a lot more time. Everybody's forced on his Leto hits the pipe, but they lost 2 people at this point. And it looks like the damage coming in for the Germans is getting slower and slower.
Jimbo on the loose cannon.
A lot of damage, and it gets cleaned up by the heavy. 2 down now on the Germans, with Adelos already back up from respawn. But they did get 3 people, so it won't be a lost cause for second. But yeah, regardless of the player situation, it's still uber advantage for Kelvin to work with, and they're gonna see to make use of that.
Yeah, it does look like they're gonna look at getting some sort of momentum, but we do have Clip trying to deny anyone coming through that area, dealing some early spam before he leaves. So that's Fishcop. And my head's broken, by the way.
So long, and they're just now coming into second with Kratos on 90. They use early as well. Kratos already far back in Cafe. Everybody's just kiting through as much as they can. Kratos coming up now as the point gets getting played. Keller wants to contest them early on. You have to use the Uber early here for the Germans, but they find 2 frags with it and force everybody out. So they get second bet pretty quickly, and only 10% disadvantage after all of this is done. So it's a win situation for the Germans at the end of the day.
And Shocky went in for a sack. The rest of the team coming in on a dry push. I don't know why they're doing this. They're in a really bad situation. As Adelos goes down, but the rest of the combo has taken so much damage. Clip down below, just watching that area, may seeing if he can sack in, but it's not looking like much of a chance at the moment.
Well, it most likely will slow down, but we see people being active in the lower area for Ora Elektro for a second, but they don't want to commit to it. So both teams just probably gonna settle with the Uber stalemate for now, which wouldn't be too surprising as the Ubers are pretty much even, 10% difference. That's not nearly enough to use at this point. It takes a big rocket in lobby, the Fishcop just standing at the entrance of it, but that's not enough. Still scarier than it needs to be. Fishcop wants to follow through with it. They use pretty early here, probably just based off that. Commit the Uber from lower lobby, but it struggles to find anything. Jimbot goes down while the Uber from the Germans comes in, finds another target, and it chases all the way into last, finding more and more damage, and everybody starts.
This is a really good opportunity, and they're able to wipe, and I think they're going to take it. And yes, they do. Really good from the Germans.
Kind of sloppy push out by Ora Elektro at the end, just ending this game basically.
Yeah, I think they lost 100% because of that. because they weren't able to really use that push. Ubering so early with Kratos not being pressured until the last moment just meant that they could roll that all the way through, especially with Jimbot being down. It's just a good opportunity for the Germans to go through. So from there, I think we should have the logs up on stream right now.
Let me open them up as well. And also the golden cap, just in case we look at that as well. It wasn't too long of a golden cap, but still, why not? Okay,
so this is the main stats at the moment. So let's just quickly have a look at damage first. And we do see that Fishkov has done a lot of damage. He was playing Roma mainly?
Yes, he was playing Roma. We discussed this earlier. We mentioned we weren't sure. I said I'm pretty sure he is now, but they swapped it from earlier in the season. But looking at the heals, pretty quickly clipped 27% to Fishkov's 14. So yeah, it's pretty fair to say that Fishkov is Roma. And still putting up this much damage is pretty good.
Actually, saying that, during the first mid, Fishkop was watching flanks and Clip was with the combo, so I think they were swapping between the two.
For mids, it's kind of a toss-up who does what as long as somebody does it. And it's like called properly. Beyond mid, the heals are more of an issue. So,
and we do see Adelos with a really nice kill-death ratio of 2.1, cleaning a lot of kills up for his team. I want to see, just for the inner nerd of me, only 4 air shots for Callum and 4 for Fishkop. So some really good air shots in there. Got to speak about that Clip bomb though, the drop.
Yeah, Clip had a really good game in general, and that the last bomb as well just bought that round on its own at that point.
Yeah, that bomb into the drop was so good, and he landed a really nice air shot on that. It may have been splash, but I'm counting it because hitting someone on the roof and finishing them off is really good. But
and I mean, third highest damage is also not too bad on top of that. The KD ratio for those like top damaging soldiers is a bit weird considering they are both exactly 11 and 15. So actually, like, not that good KD ratio, but they make it work.
Yeah. It's not about the kills you get, it's about the kills your team gets. Tip from Grumpy. I wish I had a Trilby or a Fedora.
Well, and if you already get frags, they should at least have value in the bigger picture. Which Clips definitely had. Especially like considering...
Oh yeah.
Like the mid on the golden cap, for example.
But not just that, like Callum had a really good game, and so did Nevo. Nevo got some decent picks with his sniper choices, landing 3 headshots in total. And Callum did some really nice bomb plays during mid. That really slowed down the Germans. Like we shouldn't just talk about the Germans here, because I honestly think that Ora Elektro did really well as well.
Yeah, definitely. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone to a golden cap for sure. But at the end of the day, it came just down to a slightly botched push, basically. And that's where we stand right now. 2 points already in the Germans' hand in this ETF2L fixture. And let's see if there's anything interesting else in the stats.
We didn't see any crits or anything. Let's just have a quick look at the med stats, just before we go on to talking about Gully.
Sure, Mr. Involuntary Medic Main.
Involuntary? Oh yeah, I'm playing med this season, even though I wanted to play
I
demo.
like how I have to remind you of that.
Mate, everyone knows me as a medic main. But yeah, I don't know if they're coming up on stream, but I didn't see any crits during that, so I think it was all...
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Yeah, but I guess we'll leave that there. We'll remove the logs and we'll go on to Gully Wash.
Well, the last thing I do want to mention is, like I said, mids were pretty 50-50. And yeah, the logs have the last round added, like the last 4 seconds of the game, so that doesn't count. But yeah, otherwise, 2 mids to Ora Elektro, 2 mids to the Germans. So...
There was more kills on the side of Ora Elektro during the main section as well.
5, that's not a whole lot.
But if that's five demos or five between demos and meds, and they're really big picks, so you never know on those sorts of things. But we do see that most of the time the Germans did win the mid fights. But let's leave that here and let's go on to Gully quickly. So Gully, Really nice demo map. A lot of sort of tight chokes, tight areas for the demos to be really powerful on this. So we should see a lot of plays from Jimbot and Leto.
I've seen a lot of, well, I say a lot of, I watched like 2 days of the Germans swimming this map, basically. Once against Ora Elektro as well, and once against another Div 1 team. And they have some weaknesses that I'm not sure if Ora Elektro are 100% aware of, but if they paid attention to it during the scrims, they can abuse those easily. Specifically... Oh no, you go first.
Yeah, I was going to just say, enlighten me on these weaknesses. I want to watch
one of those was in the classic last stalemate, when the Germans are pushing into last, or are in lobby for that matter. They have a really tough time keeping eyes on main, and it just allows people to get behind really easily from there, and that just can become so many different things. The backcap, the direct play onto the medic, just catching other people off by surprise, anything. So that is one thing I definitely seen. And the second thing is that they really rely on Fishkopf drop-down plays for the initiation on mid-aggression, while they have a tough time dealing with soldiers on their own. So I want to see if they manage to fix those while they are actively playing them, or if Ora Elektro uses them perfectly.
And as we come into this first mid of Week 2 Premiership, Ora Elektro versus...
Wer das liest ist doof.
And we will see this go through. My name's GrumpyKoi. I'm joined by Gemm on production and DuMmTm. And Clip goes in with a big bomb, gets Jinx, gets denied by Nevo. But Nevo and Calvin get picked
on
up.
The ground. He takes so much damage. As soon as wants to keep fails to
find
Jimbot has the sticky ready. And as soon as also finds the melee weapon frag as well at the end of this. Jimbot's still up as the last one for his team now, and he has to do something, but they just trade mid-air Fishkopf and the Devilman. Both go down. Shocky, the winner of this mid fight. And as soon as the first, they're already on this move to second. As the spawns for Ora Elektro means they probably want to contest this though.
Did you see that those mid-air situations with Fishkopf and Jimbot? They like into each other and then air shot each other and died. As we do see Alos go down to Jing. This is a really good opportunity for Ora Elektro. Obviously, like you said, using those respawns to come back in. We do see them getting into second right now. Not getting heavily aggressed, as we do see Callum pushing Clip and the rest of the combo into battlements. They have got a good opportunity to get their pace going.
Yeah, and they just basically get it for free. The Germans have to respect them coming into this. Callum overextends a little bit though, gets focused down by Clip, and Shocky was there, but apparently he didn't deal damage unless the Tier 2 assist system is lying again. So Clip takes him out. And that's a pick. Even Ubers doesn't look like the Germans are fast enough to throw anything at second to get a play, but just as I say that, I realize Fishkopf is sneaked all the way behind while this was happening, so looks like I was wrong. Fishkopf is there. Never checked the elbow entrance here though and finds Fishkopf. They trade, but if you're Nevo, you can't be too mad at that since you do prevent him from doing anything, so it's not the end of the world.
But no, Alos is on the Pyro, but that's all they've really got at the moment for off-class. He did check for any off-classes himself, but they're going to stick with this, obviously being really strong at the moment for last hold. He always has been, but since the jungle update, he's just got a little bit of a buff. And we do see Nevo peeking, dealing, I think that was a headshot on, or a fully charged body shot onto Adelos, meaning he does have to go back. So he could have got a really nice pick off that, but these things happen as he does rotate into River, but he gets denied instantly.
And Shocky is on the counter sniper, just wants to take the fight head on in this sniper duel. Tries to find an opening. He's just walking around on last, trying to see where he can come in from. Clip as well, peeking a little bit aggressively here, but not really in danger of a sniper since Nevo is at the main right now. With Shocky on the ground as well, so they meet each other right now. But the winner is not a sniper, it's Fishkopf. Standing on the corner, finding a quick frag onto the sniper and just keep going forward with it again, much like last time.
Getting
trying to abuse this opening.
Yeah, he's getting really far behind, so if he's able to do anything, and I don't think he's been called out.
Ooh, Jimbot really lucky to stay alive here in the lobby. He got jumped by Clip while he had the sticks on the other side. And
but Jinx cleans up Clip.
So yeah, it goes the other way. Fish Cop basically just spawned camping Nevo again. They almost traded again, like last time. He just barely survives this time around. Nevo still on sniper, also worth mentioning. And they have to deal with Fish Cop. He took one pack, but the second time it won't just spawn time. It did actually, he just got juggled away from it. And yeah, Nevo can really leave spawn this time around without having to worry too much. The one pick probably won't come too much into play, which is kind of sad to see, especially with the sniper, since the sniper is like good at finding one pick, but in stalemate, but it becomes worse and worse from then. So yeah, if you can't abuse one pick, it's getting kind of tough. Nevo takes a lot of spam again, and Shocky wants to peek around the corner, but he doesn't dare, so he just comes in from the other side. Fishcop jumps in. Kratos eventually, with enough damage coming his way and throwing him with full velocity on the ground. But you can afford to have that. The clip just goes aggressive in lobby, takes down one, wants the force swirl, doesn't get it though. Kelvin has refused to use to this. As soon as wants to have the counter frag, he goes into last from main, tries to jump through a pyro, but that's pretty tough. Scout takes him down in the end with some air blast denial.
And we do see that Fishkov did look for an opportunity to go around as Leto is really aggressive. The rest of the team pushing up onto the battlements area. Callum denying them as heavily as he can. Leto sticking up the shutter, maybe getting a pick, but the rest of the team are all escaping through river at the moment. They just need to go back to last and hold. Then they haven't been able to get any pace into the second at the moment with no players around. That's really unfortunate for them.
Yeah, both teams are just struggling to find meaningful advantages. They just throw people at each other and hope for the best. Callum and Azul is double stack this time around, but it barely deals 50 damage. Kratos playing pretty safe here with everybody denying the soldiers as early as they can. 2 picks now, they want to retaliate on double stack.
Yeah, this is a really good opportunity for them currently. As Clip is behind. He gets it on a really nice bomb onto it, and he does it again! He drops Kelvin. Really nice bombs from Clip as the Uber does come in. A good opportunity for the Germans if they can pick up Jimbot. He does go down, so they've got a good amount of players up, but we do see that Azunas has gone behind. Fishcop needs to deny him. He does manage to get the kill onto him, and Jinx goes down as well. Only Callum up in choke. He just needs to back out and wait for the rest of his team at this point.
Okay. While all of this was going down, I was lagging a bit, so excuse me. My internet tends to be garbage, but back to the game at hand. Ora Elektro lose second, and if you remember what I mentioned, it's pretty much the opposite. Ora Elektro is struggling to keep eyes on main right now, and Clip and Fishcop use it time and time again, and Clip eventually gets the better end of it.
Yeah, that was a really good bomb from him, as they are looking to see which angles they can aggress from. They obviously got to keep in mind they have got that Uber ad, so they may be able to just go straight in as Clip jumps in to create space, calling where the enemy is. Big bomb coming in from Azunas. Can he get on to Kratos? But no, he can't. He does go down. And that's the first pick going to the side of the Germans, and the Germans are pushing through.
And Adelos on Pyro, with the Pyro pushing into last, which I've seen before, but I don't know, they have 3 pick. They get the Force here actually, which is really good. It's a really early Uber for Kelvin. The Uber gets practically nothing done, and that's the kind of Force you want to see. They didn't even lose anyone to this. Clip died quite earlier as well. Jinx sneaked behind through main and then through big door, so he's just waiting for an opportunity right now. But I don't think it will matter, because Uber advantage push comes into last, and they're just moving in from under, wanting to place the Pyro on the point and air blast people away. And that's exactly what we see here. They start playing the point, Uber gets committed, but
Clip coming in with a bomb onto the team. They pick up Callum, but the rest of the team are going down. Leto on his own, he does manage to deal one last sticky onto Kelvin, getting 2 players down, but they do end up wiping in the end.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't disagree necessarily with the idea of this kind of push. It's just that it was too many people on the Uber and too little people coming in from the other entrances to actually deal damage from the other side, from behind the enemy team.
It was just Clip.
Basically, and it just didn't kill people anywhere near fast enough. And Ora Elektro back
pushing through
in the game.
Yeah, they are pushing through onto mid. Callum going in with the bomb, seeing if he can pick off Leto. Leto gets pushed away. Azunas aggressing onto Leto. Leto does go down. Clip staying in second. He is behind. He is distracting Callum at the moment, but that doesn't matter because the rest of Callum's team in Ora Elektro are able to take the mid, push the Germans out. So they are going to need to hold passively here. The Ubers are the same, but they are on a 2-player disad.
And it seems like Ora Elektro still want to keep the pressure up, at least a little bit. They're moving through big door. Callum comes in from choke. The Germans have to hold pretty passive without numbers being up quite yet. So Ora Elektro just coming in fast. And they take the opening given to them really quickly. Just move in pretty much for free. The Germans couldn't contest this too much. And Ora Elektro cap up second. Even Ubers onto Nas. Still tight game at 0. As I speak of that, Jimbot takes down Fishkop, who the second earlier took down Nevo. So Soldier Scout trade effectively. Adelos and Pyro for defense. And with these two people dying, I don't think either team wants to do too much. So it's a question of who can get better advantages first.
Yeah, Azunas was looking to see if he could get some pressure onto River and maybe jump through, but he's chosen against that now as he's waiting for his team to come up. We don't see any off classes. I thought Nevo would actually come back on the sniper, as he has been relatively effective with it at the moment. As we do see that nothing happens from that. That's really disappointing, but Nevo is behind. That was a good pick from himself. The side of the Germans were put in a position where if they got pressed on, they could have actually got a lot of spam onto them, and they could have even, you know, been in a really awkward situation. But they are going to take this opportunity to go forward, as Adelos does get picked up by a trap by Jimbot though, so that may just immediately stop their push, which it does.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was an attempt at the ever so more common play of placing a scout from under on the point while a SAG comes in, but didn't manage to work out this time. Adelos on Spy.
They're going for it again as Nevo does go underneath, as just does go in, but Nevo gets picked up by Leto's sticky straight away. And it does look like Ora Elektro are backing out.
Yeah, it looks like the Nevo frag just kills all the momentum they had here. Azunas almost a little too far forward, but with the corner being really annoying for scouts to cross against the soldier, doesn't look like Shocky wants to chase that, and Azunas actually gets away with it. And yeah, we continue with the same with Adelos on Spy right now. Just checking for a second, staying in Pyro, just making sure to see what classes are. Doesn't see anything, so back to the defensive off class he goes. And Ora Elektro continues to struggle finding an advantage here.
We do see Callum on main, maybe seeing if he could pick up Clip, but he's not able to. Fishkoff is in a nice position. If they try that sack again, that they will be denied, but Azunas does come through main onto Kratos. He got a really nice rocket, but weren't able to follow it up as his team does try and spam onto Kratos to get that force, but they're not able to.
It's always sad to see when like a single sack gets a lot of damage that a double sack would be able to follow through with, and a double sack just gets nothing on the other hand then sometimes.
Well, that is the demo down for Ora Elektro. So that does mean that the Germans can start pushing up onto main. It's a good opportunity.
Moving, yes. Despite Clip still being down, so they don't care about that, they want just the demo being
and
very
Fishkop goes in with a big bomb.
Doesn't find anything though, and with that, it's getting worse and worse by the second. Sure, they got Azunas, but at this point it's just a soldier for soldier trade, and that's not good enough for them, so they leave again. And want to play it safe now. Moving back to last. Fishkopf is up. Callum just jumps in early, wants to find Kratos, hits one rocket, but there's not enough damage for him. So Kratos stays safe as it stands. Adelos back to Pyro as well. And we're back at the beginning, and Ora Elektro struggling to find an answer to this hold.
Why do you think they're not able to create anything from this? Because both teams are struggling to move from their respective positions.
Sorry, I lagged out. What did you say?
I was asking why you think they're not able to push through, because one team, they're not even able to get into second.
Ooh, there's a trap kill. Around the corner on the wooden plank or whatever it is. Over there, just a sneaky, sticky trap. They didn't check it. That's a drop, and that's the kind of advantage you need.
Yeah, they should
right
really
now.
be getting some pace. As Callum is on heavy at the moment. I didn't even see him go on to that.
People sometimes do it. It's not that common anymore. It wasn't really to begin with, but it's something. And he's hiding behind the corner, so they do something different now. Just the heavy hiding to contest early. Wants to just throw himself at the point to deal damage, and arguably he did deal some damage to Shocky that got more with the spam rocket that hit him directly. But it didn't really do anything, and they really weren't accounting for the drop there. I would assume that was probably just planned as a push with the heavy. 3 down on Electro. Sticky's on the point, and I wanna... Okay, it didn't actually catch anybody by surprise, which is really big now, otherwise they would fail pushing where they just got the pick from in the same way, basically.
Yeah, and the Germans are looking to create space into second. And they've got Clipping in onto Callum. Callum doing the counter bomb. Clip getting picked up by Callum in the end. Fishcop is really low. Jimbot going in with a really nice bomb. The Ubers have been popped for the German team, as they are going to have to back out through main as the counter Uber has come out. Nevo leading the charge, gets Leto down. Fishcop ends up going down, cratering to Callum. And this is a really good opportunity for Ora Elektro. They can get through maybe into second from this.
That was pretty solid. The Germans were pretty slow and seemed pretty hesitant about whether to get into second or not. Then Clip died, and Ora Elektro just decided first and more confidently what to do, and just followed through with it, got the force, got the better end of the super exchange at the end of that, and got mid. Already putting up pressure for second, moving into Victor, but with people spawning on the German side, it's not looking too hard. Nevo and Callum want to move in on the flank side. Nevo just goes down to Clip, Callum just backs off as well. And with that, the situation will slow down a little. The Uers are pretty much even. So, stalemate time, but Clip moves into drop down, and Callum just completely predicts him. Clip gets met on by a scout on the other end of choke as well, but they fail to finish up the frag, and that would have been
a good opportunity. Really good opening. As
Clip just does the same thing again, but nobody checks it again. They don't account for that one.
And he is going in, but he gets denied by Azunas. They're probably a little annoyed with Clip at this point. Leto does go down, and Jimbot is creating space for his team as Callum bombs onto really nice air
direct. And on the other end of Big Door, there's people already stationed for Ora Elektro. The force is pretty quick after that, and Ora Elektro uses
really nice
all the way in.
for them.
They just chased them all the way, and they had no reason not to get the big picks.
If they managed to keep a bit more players, they could have rolled that. No, they didn't have second. If they had second, they could have rolled that all the way to last.
Well, they still have Chancy. The picklock already backed on the respawn. Leto, however, is alone at that point. He gets taken down, and there's still three people down on the German side. They start playing the point, but not everybody's in yet. They're starting to have no spawners as well. It's getting close, but there's so much time on the point at this point in the game, and Ora Elektro gets it, just going fast off of the one opening they had there on second. And I mean, it's hard to disagree with winning plays, but that certainly was the right thing to do.
Well, we get into the second mid of this very long game, and we do see the Leto is in a nice position. He's backed up by Shocky. The big bomb comes in again by Callum, but he's not able to really connect it on anyone. And we do see Azunas go down to Fishcop in drop down. Callum goes in for the bomb. He's not able to. Oh, he's able to connect onto Leto, but Jimbot goes down as well.
And he's still alive, and DK Adel is down. But Nevo also goes down with him eventually, and with the picks on top by Shocky as well. It's just enough for the Germans.
And Clip's in a really nice position to give space for his team to go into second, but Azunas wasn't denied at the shutter, and he was able to bomb in. He may have even been able to deal a lot of damage to the med. He does deal onto Clip, and Clip is super low. He'd end up going down in the end. Fishcop trying to support his team. Jinx going down to Shocky, and the scrappy team fight does go in as the Ubers are exchanged. We do see the solo Uber versus a team's flashed Uber. Sadly, Leto is trapped in. He is going to get picked up unless he brings something out of the bag. Fishcop comes
him off of that distraction. Nobody had eyes on Victor at that point anymore. He just came in for free, jumps straight onto the medic, takes down Kelvin, and suddenly this has gone from pretty good to pretty bad with just one opening.
But they're not letting up, even though they don't have the heals. They're keeping the pressure. They want to get this mid. They know that they've got the positioning and the player advantage at the moment. But the players are coming back. And on the side of the Germans, Adelos is coming down into main. He may be able to catch Calvin or maybe Jimbot, as he's all the way in their lobby. So he's been able to just let his team know that they can go in. And we may see a little bit of a momentum come out of the Germans, because they have a huge advantage. They may just send an Uber through main at this point. But
yeah,
Nevo...
coming up with our defensive outclasses up as soon as Pyro, Jinx heavy, Nevo engineer, Uber in for main. Pyro does a great job denying it, and at this point the Uber still hasn't gotten anything. Shocky the first one to die as well. And it's just Leto stuck in again on his own on last. Still, he gets Nevo before he dies, but that's not worth too much. It kinda helps slowing them down, but the sentry is still there, so really, I don't think it's worth that much. Ora Elektro decides to just push out quickly with these two numbers. Fishkopf hiding where we last seen a heavy hide. The question is if he couldn't do more from that than heavy. Shocky eats some fire damage. Fishkopf wants to go for the play, and he does find Calvin with a lot of damage on him. So quick force coming out for the Germans. Actually pretty meaningful as well, since sure they don't really have a good situation to keep mid with. But speaking of which, our Electros is going in aggressive and getting almost torn apart. They still trade out with Leto to make it a 3-for-3, but the Germans have better spawns. So really it's a 3-for-1. And with this advantage they can now quickly move back all the way to second again.
Shocky is pressing problems with his team. Clip does bomb in, but he gets denied by Nevo and Azunas. This is really unfortunate for the German.
Live on really little help, so that's pretty lucky. And all Electros took too much damage and already gave up too much positioning to really be able to contest this, especially considering the Uber situation. Fishkopf checking the stickies, I guess you can call it. Lucky to not get blinded on there. And the advantage is shrinking. I don't think they can really convert this to a proper last push, but it got them from mid back to second, so it's not the end of the world. Looks like they still want to go with this Uber from Shutter. Sentry and Heavy are up, they have to deal with. Uber's up now on Calvin. He doesn't want to risk anything though, he just plays from spawn, comes out eventually. Leto again, the last one in, just trades for the Heavy, and that's basically it for this last push. So I don't know if that was misaccounting the Uber situation. They just played really aggressive and it just didn't work out. They didn't even need to use on our Electro for that matter. And it just really wasn't a good push. The defensive outclasses were just up ever slightly too fast. Our Electro rotating to top where the Germans were still holding, not accounting for the fact that our Electro could rotate. Clip goes down, Adelos goes down. Shocky trades down one frag for them, but that won't stop our Electro from taking the second point here.
Yeah, that was disappointing again. They should have waited. I think they were a bit overzealous with their decision to go in, and they did punish them in the end. But Dunas is bombing in. He has dealt so much damage to the combo, but the re-push is coming in out of the Germans. They've got so many players in an awkward situation. Callum goes down. We do see Nevo really low. He does end up getting picked up. We also see that Azunas gets picked up by Clip. Clip is going extra aggressive to create space for his team. Fishkopf spotting the stickies on
Clips already all the way into last. Jumps a clean. There's a scout in front of him. Can he do it? He hits one rocket, but he just juggles Kevin away from himself. The Germans are not letting up the pressure though. They're already moving up quickly into last. Uber in from main by Kratos. And they just start playing the point just like this. Uber just now up on Kelvin. Barely saves this with some nice stickies coming out here as well. Just barely saving the point. And this Uber will scare them away. Left foot goes down at the very end of this. The Germans still want to play with this Uber. Shocky comes in from the one side with 8 loss. Fishkopf from the other. No explosive damage, but they don't care. They want to do it anyway. Clip comes up eventually.
Come in,
jumps
he
up
does
on the
have
point. Lots of damage, but they fail to find the frags eventually.
That's really
Kratos
bad.
wins the arrow fight, so hits 2 nice arrows at the end, takes down the soldier and the medic before he eventually goes down himself. So he could not save himself at the end of this, but he at least prevented Kelvin from having the advantage. Really messy fight there at the end. And Ora Elektro lucky to be able to get the just in time, save the point, but as it stands, they're still forced onto last at the very end of this.
We do see an NG defensive class coming up for the side of the Ora Elektro dudes and a offensive sniper. No, that was just checking for off classes. I do apologise. We see no offensive off classes for the Germans, so they're not going to do anything with that. Fishkop, bit far forward compared to the rest of his team, but he can probably easily get out. So Zunas having a look in lobby, seeing if anything can be made. Nothing at the moment, as Fishkop does get spotted on River. He's not going to get picked up by anyone, which is really fortunate for him.
Okay, since we have a second to talk about stuff here, we had like this push into mid that led to this whole situation just now, where Ora Elektro just wanted to play quickly before the Ubers came in, and they have been consistently losing these even fights, and they still tried to go with it. And this was probably the most questionable one so far, because the Ubers were so close to, or the Uber was so close to coming for Kratos at that point, and those fights had just not worked out whatsoever on Galiosh so far for them. And it's starting to get questionable to still go for them.
But both teams just seem to want to do that all the time. Is even if they got a minute ad, they want to go with it.
Well, speaking of ad, Clip goes in, gets the quick force and the dispenser pick, which is definitely the more important one. But yeah, the force comes out of Kelvin, and with that they have advantage. Fishkopf goes down to it. Clip himself actually doesn't, which is probably the more interesting part of all of this. And yeah, Kelvin's Uber just really unfortunately forced that for him. They now face big disadvantage. Where's the sentry actually? Let me have a look. Neville is moving it across the point, putting it on the right side. So he had it under, but now back on the right side. Clip just comes in off a pretty good opening, while the sentry can't do anything. Gets a lot of time on the point. He gets taken down, but the sentry gets taken down as well. Uber came in from the Germans. Really just gave them space again with no picks, and they struggled to convert off the space for a long time. But now
so
the
many players down and
time on the point, and that's the round. It's almost the same story as on Sunshine, except on Galliwood here they actually managed to close off the fight just barely at the very end, and it still takes them a really long time. So it's almost the same story, but just slightly better, and that's enough for them.
We do see that Jimbot is a lot earlier. We do see a lot of players getting ready to go.
Let's see all soldiers going at the same time, but Ora Elektro just goes aggressive with the whole team, while the Germans just sit on the outside waiting for their soldiers to make the plays, and it's not paying off. Kratos is still alive, but he gets chased down, has a fight with Jimbot, and the rest of the blue team arrives just in time. Kellum cleans him up really late as well, which is probably even better at this point, because Kelvin died so much earlier in comparison, and people spawn with him as well. So this means at the end of this they have a decent Uber advantage to use into last, and they're already carrying up second with obviously having people alive at the end of the mid-fight.
There's not really much going on at the moment, as stacking up to get into their holds and into a position where they can push. There is a little bit of ad to the side of the boys in blue, or Elektro, but Fishkop, the rest of his team, just they don't need to do anything. They don't need to overextend. This is just all about not letting them in easily. They've got to make sure that no one is, sacking onto their team. We do see the loose cannon on Leto as the Uber just come in on Jimbot. The sentry is staying alive for a long time, but it does end up going. But Adelos using his pyro main skills to deny the Uber, and it is a really good opportunity for the Germans to clean up players. We do see that Nevo and Jinx are behind, and they have got time onto the point, and if they can't deny, it is a round 2 Ora Elektro, bringing it to 2-1. I cannot see how much time is left. Can you inform me, Dom?
It is. It's 2 minutes 20, so there's barely enough time to turn this back around. This was something else with this last push. They had the soldiers go behind for the Germans, and it distracted them for a little bit, but the point was pretty much wide open except for stickies, and Ora Elektro eventually took care of that, and that's basically how this ended up going then.
Well, I hope for your sake you can experience what happened in the last game when Ora Elektro rolled through, as the mid is really slow, no one really getting an advantage, as Callum does bomb in, but Fishkov goes in for the deny. Leto does go down, Jinx is down as well to Clip's damage, and Fishkov is pushing the rest of the team out, and that is the mid to the Germans. They really need to get their pace going now.
Probably the most important thing for Ora Elektro is that the medics stay alive. It looked like they just want to play this fast. with the Uber coming in, but with being on the wrong side of mid on Ora Elektro, it's a bit difficult for them to find their way back, but not enough people on the German side to be able to stop them from getting back. So crisis averted. The Germans had to stack the point because they are short on time. And he was up for both teams. Ora Elektro has the safety buffer of the Uber to help with the last defense.
The Germans need a drop. That's all they need right now, is they need Clip to whip out his magic and get a drop onto them. As Leto does go in with the Uber, they're trying to deny, but they're so slow in this push, being denied by all the defensive off-classes. As Clip does bomb on, he puts time onto the point. Adelos does try and join him. Fishkoff going in for the delayed bomb, getting down Callum, but the Uber is popped for the Ora Elektro team, and they are not able to basically get that last push for the Germans. Leto is in a sneaky position, but he does get called out by Nevo, and I think it's going to go down to time at this point. Leto does get caught out by the respawners.
Yeah, you only have one more chance, and it's not a good one at that without the DuMmTm. So it's just do or die now. Germans buff up, scouts coming in from main, move forward, but there's defensive setup, pyro and heavy. High HP class to deal with. Clip just jumps on the point, Adelus goes down, and this is the lost cause. Shocky tries to do what he can, but there's not much he can do from that position. This game goes to Ora Elektro, holding on to last year.
That means that the games in total do go to Ora Elektro, obviously with the golden cap points. But I really want to talk about that. That was really good game. Both games have been really interesting to watch. They haven't been one-sided, and both teams have made mistakes, but they've also had some really good moments. So I think we'll be able to get the logs up on stream in a moment. Is there anything you want to say about that match, Dam?
We didn't have time to do predictions before the game, but if we did, I would have at least said that the maps would go this way. I didn't expect it to go this exact way by any means. So that's quite something. So let's see Guardy Watchdogs. We see Jinx going 27 in 11, having a really good game. And Jinx doesn't care about his ping, just continues killing people regardless.
We do see that Callum has the most damage in the game. That doesn't surprise me. Callum was making a lot of space and a lot of opportunities for his team, especially during the mids with his high bombs, and he was always there during the second holds to do Clip as he went in, because Clip was always playing really aggressive when they were pushing in and creating space for his team, and he was getting picked off by Callum every single time.
For as well as Clip did, all things considered, just from the impact his frags had, I would say that there was a lot of situations where he just did stuff because why not, basically. And he was just allowed to get away with a lot of things that Ora Elektro didn't quite have in check. And against a slightly higher caliber team, it is like something that should really be punished and shouldn't be too hard to prevent him from doing. And they need to work on that as well, because otherwise Clip will just become scout fodder, basically, in the future. And on top of that, Leto. I think the logs don't show that because he only died 15 times, which is like middle ground in this game. But there were so many situations at the end of fights where he just was so far in committed and just couldn't leave at the end of fights and died really late as well, which just gave a good pick to work with to Ora Elektro. And that should really be avoided in the future as well. We've seen it just at the very end there where he was stuck on last. And it's basically the same story for a lot of last pushes and a couple of times on second as well, where he just was in positions where he just couldn't leave anymore after Uber exchanges and stuff.
And now I'm going to channel my inner med main and talk a bit about the bed logs. One thing that does surprise me is Ora Elektro's Kelvin. He dropped twice, but that didn't change the amount of Ubers he had in the end. He had 10, so he actually had 12 Ubers in the chamber versus Kratos' 10. And at opportunities where they could have done a lot more with some of their drops. There was a drop on one of Leto's stickies where they could have pushed out, and they spent a really long time kind of getting that aggression going and swinging forward, I noticed. So it's kind of unfortunate for them, but we also need to talk about the advantages. Like, Ora Elektro did use their advantages a lot more. We do see 4 advantages lost for the Germans, and I think that was just down to they were pensive at times, I noticed. So the medlogs do kind of show that.
Advanced medic knowledge.
Advanced medic knowledge. Don't drop unless your team will just hate you forever. They'll never remember you for the good Ubers. They'll always remember you for the drops. That's all I've got to say as a medic main.
Well, yeah, if you... it sounds kind of stupid in comparison to other classes, but if you can't remember something the medic did, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Because he didn't do any mistakes, and those stand out most of the time.
Mm.
Obviously, a medic can still have insane plays with like good serves, great arrows, which we had with Kratos, like killing 2 people at the end of the last push, basically making it from a bad situation to an even one. So yeah, that was interesting as well.
And now we've got the frags by zone, and it does look like most mids were going to the side of the Germans, with Ora Elektro's denying a lot more lasts, and there was a lot more play in the last of Ora Elektro. With if you look at it, there was a total of I can't do quick maths. I'm not Big Shaq. A number close to 50 frags in the no, not 50, 40. My brain doesn't work. No, that might be 50. I don't know. Somewhere around 46, 47. My maths is really bad. But so many more frags on the Electra last. But that doesn't surprise me, because a lot of the times with the last pushes from the Germans, they went on such bad advantages, like little advantages they went in on, and they went really aggressive, and it just meant that they just weren't able to, get the med in time. The counter Uber came out, and they just got cleaned up multiple times during that.
All right, that is our advanced medic knowledge logs, and looks like we're getting people in for interviews. We have Kratos coming in for German versus doof. Lolly, aka Kelvin, I think and feel, at least that's his mumble name in the game, as Jimbot. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
So how did you guys think that game went?
It was a bit shaky. It was good. Glad we won.
I think we kind of got tilted on Sunshine, and we kind of missed a lot of opportunities on Goliath. So
Yeah, it was a sweep of coast to coast on Sunshine was pretty much entirely luck, or just Azunas's pyro skill. I don't know which, but I'm glad we still got a point out of that. Sunshine's a pretty bad map for us.
Yeah, I think we just couldn't push last at all. I don't know.
Yeah, there were a lot of situations where he just struggled, like, getting the frags on last, despite having like the position. Like, you got in really far, and then you just couldn't find anything really.
I think we should have started playing the point. I can't remember if we actually did, but I'm sure we didn't start playing the point early enough. But yeah, we also had a situation on Sunshine where we were holding their second. It was like 2 minutes left. And I don't exactly know what happened, but we got pushed all the way back to our last. That's like, we threw like 2 times in a row or something.
can I say something?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, props to their solis, to be honest. Fucking fish cup and clip raped me on this fucking game.
Yeah,
both of them had some really good moments.
We can't ignore the frag on Sunshine where he dropped you.
That was fucking insane.
Yeah, it was. We knew he was gonna bomb as well. Like as soon as Jinx died, I was just like, I need help. I need help on left, and our soldier just couldn't get there in time.
Well, I was
it's especially difficult when
I was spectating Clip on another mid, and he was jumping you. And he opened his chat on accident. He killed you, and he was just standing there like, raging.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Great.
That's just classic TF2 things.
Yeah, there's got to be always like shenanigans and stuff like that. But no, is there like, if you had to pick for both teams? So I'll let Fishcop, you choose who you thought was the best on your team. Who do you think did the most impact?
On my team, I would say Idolos played Stefan as well. Kratos actually. Actually, Kratos. He got like 5 kills on the last map. That was insane. I have to say,
I
Kratos.
noticed that. Like it like saved the situation so much because there was no way he wasn't gonna die, and he still gets the medic before it happens.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful.
So,
And Kelvin, Lolly, if there's a player you could pick for your team?
I would definitely say it's fucking Azunis with his 300 IQ pyro play.
Of course.
Like, it was
You
actually
can't
insane.
ignore that.
He literally gave us the fucking round because of that.
Now imagine it coming earlier in the game.
No, I think
just outright win the game.
I think it was perfect because sadly you're away for that dumb. But that pyro pick,
for a second.
They were able to push all the way from their last and cap the other last from it. And they took the pyro the whole way. They did not switch off him, which was great because he was just able to deny so many Ubers. The German side, I'm sorry, I cannot say your team name. I'm really sorry. Like you just had so many opportunities where that pyro just made it so hard for the Germans to deny anything. So you guys just rolled all the way through and did a really nice, quick sort of conversion of a situation.
But pushing out with pyro is just dishonorable.
First wallbugs are banned, next pyro's banned. You never know with these admins.
I can't say anything. I'm in a team with one of the admins.
Wait, you say that. Wasn't there one situation on Gullywash where Aidlos was on pyro and you pushed into last? And there was no reason for him to be on pyro besides like intentionally choosing to do so.
Well, the push was wasn't actually too bad. Like we just threw up a little bit, but it was really close because we just didn't focus on the heavy. Otherwise, the pyro push was really good.
Yeah,
I think Idlos did a lot of work on pyro. Yeah,
Pyro's
on
really
the
good.
defense as well. Idlos denied like all the sacrifices of
that
team.
one push with the pyro I just mentioned was like really close as well. It just basically failed due to just people off the Uber not coming in fast enough.
Yeah, I guess the heavy survived too long.
Yeah, exactly.
But Idlos did a lot of work on pyro. He denied many people on our last. So and on Sunshine, I think Clip did a huge difference. He had some really nice moments.
But what is that pyro class anyway? Like he's just like looking at me from and 50 damage in one tick. I'm not even fighting him.
Yeah. I guess at this point I actually have to advertise our sponsor, Ora Elektro. If you do live in
Ora Elektro.
If you do live in Norway and you need electrical installation, hit them up under ora-elektro.no.
Nice.
I just find it beautiful that you're still named after this Finnish electronics like thing, while you don't even have Norwegian. Sorry, and there's not even a Norwegian player playing anymore.
Yeah.
But that's kind of great.
I think that's the best part. You got to keep the team spirit going.
Yeah.
The essence of the team.
Yeah.
Norwegian electronics confirmed to make you a Prem player. But yeah, I'm sure an angry letter at Valve will fix that problem.
Yeah. No, they probably won't even.
I won't even change it.
They probably
they will
listen
buff
to this
Arrow
right
after
now
after
and decide
gaming.
to not do it because you mentioned it.
Alrighty then. So, is there any other points anyone wants to touch on in regards to the games?
Don't think so.
Alright, so I'll start from the top, ignoring obviously Dumb. And if you guys have got any shout outs, go ahead. So, Fishcop, you start.
Yeah, well, shoutouts to Feeling Blue, who kind of, told us a little bit how to play more together. It didn't help much, but shoutouts to Feeling Blue anyway.
An attempt was made.
An attempt was made, yeah. And also shoutouts to Smira. He also tried to help us a little bit. With,
Oh yeah, I actually watched one of your scrims yesterday because I had nothing better to do and wanted to prepare for the cast. And there wasn't one situation where Clip
Yeah, you cut off.
I think he DC'd. That's been happening with both the casters.
Maybe you can finish his sentence.
I didn't watch that. The only thing I saw with you guys was the Essentials Monthly, where I watched you guys play with Feeling during that, and you had him on med.
Oh yeah.
I was really scared there because my bumble keeps crashing. I thought my bumble crashed, but we'll just ride past all of that, and we'll go on to Kratos. Have you got anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Shout out to Mughal. Thanks for standing in.
And Lolly?
Oh yeah, I got actually a lot of shoutouts.
Rack him off.
Alright, shout out to Hempus in Vietnam. Shout out to Pandemic in Japan. Shout out to my team actually. They're all great.
Oh.
Who did I want to? Oh yeah, shout out to Andy, shout out to Jessim, shout out to Till. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Beautiful. And last fee?
Shoutouts to Wind Tunnel for gifting us his strategies.
Wonderful. So I was expecting to do a two-part thing, but could I have a replacement German caster, please? Who wants to take it? Anyone?
Pick one of the three.
I will use Fishkoff. Okay. So I think we'll leave it there. I haven't got any shout outs myself. Actually, I'll shout out Nairo, Pleb, and Lava, because Lava's my stalker. And from there, my name's been GrumpyKoi. I've been joined by Fishkoff as my co-caster.
Hell yeah.
And we've had Gem on production, so thank you very much for your time.